Flanked by Texans, President Biden issues an executive order to stop most asylum seekers.
So I think that's a strong message to people that want to come to the United States, saying, hey, you got to do it the right way.
We look closer at the policy.
It's another ploy for the political year. We all know that immigration is the number one topic for this election.
And why some border leaders are skeptical about the decision. There's a new push to create a Texas stock exchange, but one of the largest investors has been hammered by the state for its environmental investment policies.
Whether you're on that list or off that list, we want you to do business in Texas.
We asked the state controller how the dispute could affect his big business deal. Lawmakers research a possible change to state law after we highlighted a veteran having trouble getting the tax exemption he earned. The new developments after our investigation.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. President Joe Biden announced an executive action to temporarily close the border to most asylum seekers. The goal is to slow the number of illegal crossings. Reaction to the order has been mixed. Monica Madden looks closer at the response from Texas border leaders and why some are skeptical about the policy.
We must first secure the border and secure it now.
President Joe Biden announcing the U.S.-Mexico border will shut down immediately Tuesday.
This action will help us gain control of our border, restore order into the process.
Under the order, when crossings exceed a threshold of 2,500 per day, only a selective group of migrants can seek asylum. They must have credible fear of returning home, and the new order makes those standards stricter.
I think this will help facilitate them coming here in an orderly way.
Some border mayors from Texas applauding the president's move at the White House Tuesday.
This does not fix our entire system, but there's a lot of work to do, right? But this is a step in the right direction.
So I think that's a strong message to people that want to come to the United States, saying, hey, you got to do it the right way, and follow the process.
But not all leaders are satisfied.
It's another ploy for the political year. We all know that immigration is the number one topic for this election.
Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland of Terrell County skeptical that the thresholds for closure will make a difference.
That's still almost 1 million if we were to catch 2,500 a day. And he says we're going to be able to turn on and off border security. Look, you can't just turn it on and off like you do a light switch. And who's still going to process those that are coming across? It's going to be Border Patrol. And if those numbers are significant, they're still going to be tied up.
Whether or not Biden's order will stay in place is up in the air, with the ACLU already planning to file suit on behalf of migrants. Monica Madden, State of Texas.
Governor Abbott criticized the president's announcement, calling it a hollow border order. He wrote, "For 3 years, the president has lied about the existence of the border crisis, deflected blame to Congress, and now contradicts himself by issuing a feckless executive order months before Election Day." Abbott has long been critical of the Biden administration, saying it's not doing enough to secure the border. The state has spent billions on Abbott's Operation Lone Star border security initiative. Late last month, the governor visited Eagle Pass to mark the opening of a new border base for the operation. The 80-acre base with 95 buildings will house up to 1,700 soldiers with the capability of more if needed. The average number of crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border currently exceeds 2,500 per day. In fact, it's been above that level since January 2021. Under the president's order, Border Patrol will begin turning away the majority of migrants who cross illegally to seek asylum. The border will not reopen to asylum seekers until crossings fall to an average of 1,500 per day. The last time numbers fell below that level was July 2020, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. The executive order comes on the heels of a historic election in Mexico. For the first time, Mexican voters elected a woman to lead the country. Claudia Sheinbaum, a longtime populist and physicist, won in a landslide. Her election could have an influence on American politics. Her presidency comes at a time when U.S.-Mexico relations are increasingly strained on matters of immigration and drug smuggling. Mexico is also the top trading partner for America and Texas, which is why state leaders are eager to see how Sheinbaum will lead.
And I'm optimistic we're going to continue to see increased trade as we deal with very difficult and very real issues concerning migration, as well as illicit drugs that are harming both nations.
Sheinbaum will officially take office in October. Her term will run until 2030. Early in her term, she'll be tasked with handling negotiations of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. That's a major trade deal under review for renewal. Sheinbaum has said she will follow in the footsteps of her predecessor with the hugs, not bullets policy, something she praised during her campaign. It's a policy focused on avoiding confrontation with drug cartels, instead focusing on fighting poverty with social programs so there's less of an incentive for young people to join or cooperate with cartels to survive. A tight runoff election battle for a Texas congressional seat may not be over. Last week, we told you how incumbent Congressman Tony Gonzalez held off challenger Brandon Herrera by about 400 votes. Herrera conceded, but on Thursday, he told the Texas Tribune he plans to ask for a recount. District 23 stretches from San Antonio to the outskirts of El Paso. It covers a large portion of the border with Mexico. It also includes Uvalde. The Texas Republican Party censured Gonzalez last year for supporting the bipartisan gun law that passed after the shooting at Robb Elementary. Herrera is a gun rights activist known on social media as the AK guy. The Lone Star State could soon be getting its own stock exchange, but one of the largest investors is accused of breaking Texas law. We asked the state controller why that's not shutting down the deal. We told you about trouble for a Texas veteran seeking a tax exemption. Now lawmakers look to step in.
Do you think this would have widespread support, bipartisan support?
If it's just a need for clarification, I'm sure that'll be something that I call a no-brainer and that people will, support this.
An update as our investigation gets attention at the state capitol. Plus, hiring and keeping nurses is a struggle for small towns in Texas.
Rural Texas, we have a lot of challenges. We have the most elderly population. We have the highest uninsured population.
See how the state is stepping in to help communities that need nurses the most.